So my name is Raymond Hounon, and I really kind of, as the previous panelist did, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about me, my journey into IT, how I got there. Yesterday, when I was thinking about what to tell, actually, it made me realize that I don't have a typical journey because I was born in a country called Niger Republic. My parents are from a different country, which is Benin Republic in West Africa. And I was born in a different country because they immigrate there. And what happened is when I was very young, my mom and my dad used to ask me, what do you want to do? And I used to say, I want to be a general in the army. I used to say, I want to discover the next cure for cancer. And I would say, I want to be building the best communication device out there. And I always have those dreams. And those dreams has always led me to do something. And following those different paths, I end up at the university. First class, I got a scholarship to study medicine. I started studying medicine. And 3 years after, into 7 years course, I quit. I jumped into journalism to make money because I wanted to do something different. After a year doing some journalism, writing article, I gave up. Then I decided to go to study law. I studied a law degree. I studied at the University of Sorbonne in France, which is one of the top universities in France. I graduated there. After graduation, I find myself in a situation where I know about the law, I know a bit about medicine, but I didn't enjoy it that much. And then I went to Germany. I'd never been to Germany before. I didn't speak German. I just wanted to experience something different. And I went to Germany, I did the language course, and then I went into an information science class, which I loved, and did my degree there. As I was doing my degree, which is really information science related to IT, I got hired by GE on the automation platform, something that my background, my career, nothing predicate me to be working for the biggest company in the industry at a time and doing something that I have never planned to do because in my dream was something different. But what was really important for me was I needed to follow a path and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I was trying, and through that trying, I was guided into different activity. And from starting at GE, I grew up through the ladder and I become an automation manager where we configure really big devices for manufacturing, for pharmaceutical industry. And from there, I move on to a different organization called Oracle. Then from Oracle, then I find myself in Microsoft. And at Microsoft, last year I was in Microsoft, I just recently joined Google. I've been leading the public sector team in Scotland, and I led the team that designed the track and trace platform for COVID, the vaccination platform in Scotland, and also modernizing the children health record in Scotland. And then now I'm at Google. I'm leading the life science and research division of Google, where really we work with a lot of scientists, and some of the activity we do is around medical health, is around cancer research, is around COVID, is around genomic and DNA. Having really looked at all of that, then I think back to what I was dreaming about. Slowly, I started to realize that the path or the purpose of my life when I was a young kid were given to me by a higher power through a dream. Because I wanted to be a general. The way I managed actually to get into GE was through the British Army. The way I managed to come now and learn to do medical device activity and all of that is because I did medical project that's related to healthcare in Microsoft, and now today I'm in Google. So the number one thing for me was I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what is the right studies to do. I did everything that was available to do at a time. But one most important thing, I kept the dream alive. And the dream was whatever my mind was about. whatever I was passionate about and interested in, regardless of the environments that I was born in, I'm going to give it my best. I can tell you, coming from Niger, which is one of the poorest countries in the world, and to go to school, I have to walk 5 kilometers on foot. And generally, it's very hot. And I have done that all my schooling, went to university under the same condition, and think of becoming one of the greatest general or scientists was almost impossible. So the environment that I did not offer me what would say the typical path is. However, the dream, because my dream was so big, I was convinced and I wanted to achieve everything that is possible and available to me. And I kept that dream alive every day. And I met people, I created relationships, I had mentors, and I have people who along the way has been pushing me to realize that dream. And in your life, you will meet a lot of people. You'll meet a lot of friends. The key to it is to really identify those key people in your life that's there not to put your dreams down, but really to keep the dream alive and give you a little bit of push in life to move forward. And that has always been until today, what I have been doing. And today I'm in IT. I am a leader into an organization that is doing something amazing. We are working on genomic to look at sometime at the next best cure, next best medicine. We are looking at a lot of things around genetical disease. I'm also a social entrepreneur in terms of mental health. I recently launched, in collaboration with my partner, a new application for bipolar people. So nothing in my life predicates me to think when I look back that I'm going to be where I am today. And the only really things that helped me connect the dots was the dream that I had when I was young, around 6 or 7 years old, somewhere in Africa. And the dedication and the passion to just change my life in a way that I imagine it, so that it can make it as big as possible. Nothing is impossible to human beings as long as you believe in yourself, you believe in the dream of what you want to become, and you go after it. You will see that along the way, a lot of people will be there to help you on that path. And I have a lot of people who help me that I'm grateful for. I cannot name them all, that's why we need a lot more than this time to talk a lot more about that. But if you're interested in STEM, if you're interested in IT, I would say don't put yourself in the framework, in the box, and say you need to do a certain type of degree, or you need to do this, you need to do that. Give your chest the best chance that will equip you to use all your transferable skill and your talent to do something that you're passionate about. And if it's happened to be IT, go and start. And don't work out the how. The how is actually on the journey. Just start, first step, and then go. And first step can be, I'm going to go and learn probably how to do coding. Or I'm going to go and learn and find out, oh, what is this AI thing is doing? Or I can even go and learn how to just do networking. Whatever it is that your mind is into and you are really finding passion and it's kept you alive and motivated, I would say start there. And when you start, be very intentional about where you want, how the journey needs to look like. What is the vision? If the vision is one day to run Google, believe in it and work towards it. It's a journey, and everything on the journey will help you get to that vision, because that vision will be your guiding light. Me was to be the best possible I can be. Who knows, tomorrow I might become one of the greatest farmers. Or in a few years, I might be running also an IT company. But I'm currently living the dream and I'm following my path. And every one of you has a path. And as a young person, when I remember my time, it was really hard to figure out everything in advance. The simple answer is it's impossible. So don't try to do what you cannot get an outcome out. Just look at the small thing you can get an outcome out with the great vision of where you want to be, and believe in that vision and that dream. Yes, I can tell you that I've been a lot of time when I had enough. It wasn't working. I failed in a lot of different things. The number one thing that I would say that kept me going was the sheer belief in myself that I am here on this planet to do something different and better. So it's not about now, it's about what I have been dreaming about. And I believe that I could achieve it. And in those moments where you failed, one of the things that helped me really cope was I didn't look at it as a failure. I look at it as I have learned something, as an experiment, as a training. And then I said to myself, now with this information that I have, what can I do next? So the tragedy would have been to use the failure or those hard moments in time and stick into them and try to build a future. So there is no future in the past, but the past can help you build a better future. I choose the latter. I choose to use my past to build a better future. So everyone will have their own way to cope, but me is, I would say, keep an eye on the bigger picture, keep an eye on the vision, keep an eye on the dream, and use every experience you have to keep moving forward. So I'm going to give you advice in terms of grading. I'm going to start from number 3. Advice is, if you want to join Google, show an interest into what Google is doing. Trying to learn a bit more about what Google has been doing, not to become a super techie and try to work out all of what the engineers are doing because it's impossible, but find an area where Google is involving and it aligns with your passion and get interested into it. Number 2, reach out to people, build relationships. Reach out to me, reach out to many people. Google has about, I think, 120,000 people worldwide. Reach out to people closer to you, make connection. The most important advice I would say if you want to join Google, which is number 1, just be yourself. Do not try to go to Google and say you want to be someone else, because it's not going to work for you. Come the way you are, be the way you are, and bring your experience, your culture, your diversity, everything that makes you, bring it with you and add the value of the culture of that organization, which embraces very much diversity and equity. So that's probably the most important. Learn to be you. And I can guarantee it's much easier to be myself than to be someone else.